Okay, welcome to day 3 of the journey through the chakras. I'm most excited about today because the higher chakras are like, I don't know, that's where all the magic lies, literally. So today we're going to cover the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. So am I going to do this now or am I going to do this later? Let's do this now. Okay, so I brought out my favorite poster. If you guys have watched my stuff, you've probably seen this. Trying to do this without a glare. Okay, I think I have maybe done it. Okay, so this may be hard for you guys to see. Let me scooch a little closer. But this, too close, this is the scale of consciousness. And this comes from the work of David Hawkins. He's an MD and a PhD, and his research was based around essentially eliciting emotional responses from people and measuring the vibration that comes off their body. And what he found is that just like you can measure the vibrations of sound, you can measure the vibrations of light, right? Different colors of light have different wavelengths, different sound lengths. Our emotions carry a wavelength as well. So the lowest vibration emotions have the lowest and slowest wavelength. And the lowest vibration emotions are shame and guilt, followed by grief and fear up to anger. So I have been referencing this chart and this kind of philosophy in the first 2 trainings. And so I want to like kind of bring it home with this. So these lowest vibration emotions are the 3D. And in the 3D is where we have a lot of suffering. We feel victim to our circumstances. We feel powerless. We're really wounded in those lower chakras where our solar plexus feels totally disempowered. We're disconnected from our heart. We feel ruled by our traumas and victim to life, right? So as we move out of and heal these lower chakras, we start to step into the 4D, which is where we start to recognize that we're not just a body, where our mind has a lot of powerful control over our life experience. And in the 4D, we start to experience relief. We start to experience self-empowerment. We start to feel positive and productive in life, right? So you can see how these start to balance they're balancing all the chakras, but you're starting to step into the power of the solar plexus and the heart. And where we're going to venture today is into the 5D, which is where we're in our highest vibration emotions of love, joy, freedom, and enlightenment. And we enter into the 5D by really trusting and understanding that there is a higher power and that we are not just our bodies and our minds, but we are connected to the spiritual world and we are a spirit having a physical experience. So as you move into these emotions, you start to engage these highest chakras that hold the highest vibrations. And you'll notice that these colors also match the chakras as well. So moving up from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple. And so this is kind of another way of looking at the energy of the chakras essentially, and how as we start to engage these higher chakras and activate them and live in the balance and the wisdom they have to offer, we start to step into this 5D where we really become master manifestors, where we really begin to co-create our own realities and experience true freedom in life. I spend so much time in my bubble, I call it, where I literally don't answer to anyone. I'm my own boss. I run my own home. I manage my own finances. Like I choose who I get to spend my time with. The only boss I have is my daughter, actually. I take that back. But so what I share this because I live in this space where I also run a business where I can go, okay, I'm gonna give you a story actually, where I go, okay, I would like to generate this type of lifestyle that my business supports. I want to work 3 days a week and I want to make X amount of money, or I need to generate X amount of money this month because right now the thing I've been working on manifesting is buying a new car this year. And I my goal is to have $10,000 as a down payment on a vehicle. And I was looking at my finances the other day. I was looking at like what payments are coming in, how much money is in the bank, what's going out. And I was like, man, I don't even nowhere near that $10,000. Like, I'm like, how am I going to make this happen? And I just kind of came back to the like, well, I'm just going to keep putting it out there that I would like to have $10,000 to put down on a new vehicle this year. And I don't know how that surplus is going to come in, but that's my intention. And the other day, my accountant office called me and she said, oh, your taxes are done. Can you come pick them up and sign for them? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. And she goes, you're going to owe the state of Rhode Island $10. I was like, okay, sweet. And she's like, you're getting a tax return of $9,600 from the federal government. And I was like, I'm sorry, excuse me, what? I was like, say 900? She's like, no, $9,600. And I was like, okay. I thought I was going to have to like owe money this year. Like I thought I was going to owe $10,000. So I'm like, holy shit, essentially, like there's my down payment for my car. I can just put that money in my savings account and just wait until the time feels right now to go out and purchase that vehicle. Or maybe I can have $15,000 for a down payment on a car now, right? Like, you know, I would like this or something even better is always the prayer. And so I'm literally like blown away and like just shocked at how support comes through when you really stay in your highest vibration, you really work on your inner healing, you really consciously observe what's happening in your life, what your emotions are, you work with them, you trust them, you keep all the crystals, you know, it's about just living consciously, right? And really coming into that trust and coming back into those 5D vibrations as often as you can. We're always going to drop down. I shared a lot about being anxiety for a couple of weeks and it keeps creeping back in a little bit. And so it's just one example of how things manifest to support us. And I'm going to share a few more of these stories as we go along today, because this is like the juiciness of the higher chakras and the 5D, right? Okay, so let's start with the throat chakra, which sits right at the center. Oops, I just want to get the chat box open. The center of the throat, sort of between where the two collarbones meet, right here. And this is your center for your authentic voice, and this is where faith and understanding meet. So we move from the heart, which is this integration of the physical with the spiritual, kind of recognizing that there is a spiritual. And then in the throat is where we really step into our faith. So the throat is actually a channel for the divine as well. It's one of your channels for your clairs, your clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. And so this is, I just feel like this is a chakra that gets like not a lot of love, but it's a really important one. So the color for the throat chakra is blue, kind of a lighterish blue. And the element for the throat chakra is sound, of course, right? It's how we create in this world through the vibrations of sound. So when your throat chakra is out of balance, you may have difficulty speaking your truth or difficulty expressing yourself. You may feel fearful of jumping on a group full of strangers and just talking about your authentic self. You may feel silenced, you may feel judged, and you may feel out of alignment. Because this throat chakra is where we start to move into the spiritual chakras, if you will. And so if this one is not in balance, it's very difficult to come into alignment with the higher chakras, because this is sort of the foundation for the spiritual chakras, right? So we're going to talk about alignment today too, in relation to the 5D and manifesting the lives that we desire and getting into our soul purpose. And you can also feel out of touch with your will to live, because you don't have that ability to express, and our ability to be in this world, to express ourselves, is extraordinarily important, because if we don't feel like we have purpose, then your will to live can go down. Could you have bronchial issues with the throat chakra? That would probably be more of a heart chakra issue. The let's see. It could be either one. So the throat chakra governs from a glandular perspective, the thyroid and the parathyroid, which sits right here in the throat. And these have a lot to do with energy metabolism, bone density, things like that. So the throat chakra governs the throat, the trachea, which only goes to about here, and then you go into the bronchial tubes. The vertebrae that are in the neck, the mouth, the teeth, the gums, the esophagus, which goes down to the stomach, the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. So you're in this kind of region here if your arms were straight out, right? You often see that spiritual image of the man in the circle with the arms and the legs out, and that's kind of telling you how this governs those regions of the body. When your throat chakra is in balance, and please feel free to put any questions in the chat box as we go along here. When your throat chakra is in balance, you have this strong will to live because you are beginning to connect to your essence of who you are and why you're here. And so it's easy to follow your dreams, to speak your truth, to be authentic, to express yourself, to listen to your inner voice, right? This is kind of your clairaudience kind of channels to some degree through the throat chakra. And there's this balance between silence and speech. So we can have an overactive throat chakra where we're like, bleh, right? Word vomit, emotional, like spitting out too much stuff. There's a balance between speaking your truth and knowing when to reserve that truth for appropriate time, place, and parties. So the life lesson of the throat chakra is to speak and receive and live in your truth, which is a really lovely energy to get into, right? We're way beyond survival and we're way beyond sort of connecting with our outside world. And now we're really connecting with our higher selves. That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so energy imbalances in the throat chakra could be caused by withholding your voice, so kind of shutting yourself down, swallowing your words, and suppressing your creative talents, and primarily your creative talents of channeling the beauty of divinity into the world. So my primary creativity is through spoken word. I love to get in front of an audience. I love to speak. I love to create videos. Writing, way harder for me. But writing comes through the throat chakra as well. Singing, you guys do not want to hear me sing ever. So your gifts through the throat chakra can come in different ways. I have a client who has been drawn to singing lately as part of her healing. It's a way that she moves energy through and like brings light into her body. And this kind of a newer thing for her, which is pretty cool and amazing. Is the throat chakra the seed of eating disorders? I would say eating disorders will tend to come from lower chakras of control. So probably more of a solar plexus issue. But with every condition, there's multiple chakras involved, right? And it's like the dysfunction in each one is going to manifest as your unique imbalance in your life. Let's see. Certainly, any coping mechanism like overeating or undereating can also be a way of suppressing the emotions. And so depending on which emotion you're suppressing, it could affect any number of chakras. But I would say disordered eating is typically a solar plexus one. Crystals for the throat chakra. You're going to be in the blue region here. So turquoise, this is this is kunzite, blue kunzite, which is really cool and fun and pretty. This has like, I don't even know what the black is in here, but that's pretty cool. Celestite, which is another pale blue color. Sodalite, this is a blue sodalite. This one's cool. It always reminds me of trying to get the light where you guys can see, like the earth. It's like water and stuff kind of combined. And lapis lazuli, another blue stone. Essential oils, number 1 is definitely lavender. Lavender is the oil of calm and communication. So if you want to share something in like a really calm, peaceful way, lavender is going to be your best friend. You could also use rosemary, frankincense, or chamomile. And the affirmations for the throat chakra are I speak, of course, right? So I speak my truth. I speak from a vibration of love. I speak from a place of compassion. I speak to my sisters. I speak to my tribe. I speak of myself in the highest vibration of love and light. So I speak are your affirmations to help balance the throat chakra. Do I put essential oils on all of my chakras daily or only if it needs healing? I'm a very much in the flow kind of girl. I spent a lot of years way too much in my masculine energy, like way, way, way too much. So I don't do anything the same all the time ever, except I don't do anything the same all the time ever. So I just use them when I feel called. Some days I don't use essential oils at all. Some days I use 20 of them. I have a routine that I do whenever I do any channel or intuitive work. I use clary sage and frankincense. Well, I will share for the third eye and the crown. But no, I don't do them all every day. You just use the ones that you feel called to. Like I open my essential oil box. I'm like, who's speaking to me today? And I just pull out random ones. And sometimes I'll look them up. Why did I pick this one? And I'll go, oh, of course, I forgot. Sometimes I'll look them up and be like, oh, where's a good place to put this one? Or sometimes I just randomly put them on without, I just let it flow. So yeah, you can do it however you want to. Okay. So let's move on to the third eye. The third eye, this might be my favorite chakra. It's right between the eyebrows. And this is your sixth chakra and it's your sixth sense. So this is your center of wisdom, spirituality, insight, and intuition. And the color for this chakra is indigo, and the element for this is light. Because this is where you're really channeling light energy into the body. It's the center for your clairvoyance, so your ability to see. When this chakra is out of balance, you can feel solely focused on the intellect and be rejecting the spiritual aspects of self. So when I was overly in my masculine, I had a really blocked third eye. Like I was so intellectual. This is another example of polarity, right? I was such a science, Western medicine, like denial of spirituality. I was nearly an atheist. What's the there's a term where you believe in a spirituality, but you believe you'll never be able to understand it. I was kind of there, but I was literally nearly an atheist. Like I was so disconnected from spirituality. So yes, I've taken the polarity there and run with that one in a good way. You don't trust your intuition. A lot of you, I hear this all the time, you're getting these intuitive hits, but you don't believe them or you don't trust them and you don't go with them. And that can create a lot of pain in your life because you feel out of alignment, right? This is another space where alignment is super important in the third eye. You can only see and focus on the physical, right? If this is shut down, you're in the 3D. There is no higher consciousness. And you can really have a fear of your own inner wisdom. I see this a lot too. People who've had very powerful spiritual experiences, or maybe had a spontaneous spiritual awakening or Kundalini awakening. And Emily is a fruit fly. Yay! You got the fairies. Some people have an awakening that can be scary. It's a reason why many people end up in mental institutions, because they have this spontaneous awakening and they are not grounded and they don't have support and they don't understand it. And they also are vulnerable to dark energies and entities. And so people can have these spiritual awakenings that are quite frightening. So that would make you want to shut down that third eye and be like, I don't go there, understandably so, as a protective mechanism. When your third eye is in balance, trust and follow your intuition, and you have a knowing beyond what you can see. And again, your clairvoyance becomes very good and very strong. And we're going to talk about the clairs. We're going to do a clair a Claire meditation today. So that will be super fun. So the lesson of the third eye is to use your insight and intuition to see past the physical. And when you can let your intuition start guiding you, that is when like just miracles. It's miracles, right? When you're in those high vibration emotions, the synchronicities and the miracles are incredible. It's so, this is what I want everyone to experience. This is why I'm teaching the way I'm teaching now. The third eye rules the pineal gland, which is right in the center of the head. You see in Egyptian cultures that visual of the third eye. It has like a little tail and it's like kind of connected to the brain stem. That's it looks like an eye. That's the pineal gland. It's your center for intuition. And that's why I'm always connecting you guys when we meditate into the pineal gland. So you're opening up those channels, and we're going to do that to a greater extent today. Does this also allow you to see spirit? Yes. So some people, all the clairs are going to work differently. Some people's clairvoyance, they're going to literally see people who've passed over, ghosts. They're going to see angels. They're going to see entities. And you can see them with your eyes open, or you can see them in your mind's eye. So my clairvoyance is all in my mind's eye. I take that back. My clairvoyance is primarily in my mind's eye. So when I channel, I do it with my eyes closed because I get a lot of imagery that way. So everyone's can be a little bit different. Yes, okay. So pineal gland, super important. One key thing is the pineal gland can get calcified from fluoride in our food, water, from our environment, right? So we want to be super, especially synthetic fluoride. You want to be super careful that you are avoiding synthetic forms of fluoride. You are filtering your water if it is fluoridated with a really, really good filter. I like the Berkey with the fluoride, the white fluoride filters added on. I try to avoid fluoride treatments at the dentist. Avoiding fluoride as much as possible is super important for keeping that pineal gland functioning well. If your pineal gland is calcified, that's still reversible too. So don't feel like if you've been consuming fluoride for a long time that you're stuck. You're not stuck at all. You're never stuck. Okay, so the pineal gland rules the brain, the central nervous system, the eyes, the ears, and the nose. And the causes of energy imbalance in the pineal gland are going to be lacking trust in your intuition. So that's going to shut down that pineal gland. I see a lot of interference. I'm sorry, it's going to shut down the third eye. I see a lot of interference in people's third eye when I read their chakras. Like I literally see things stuffed in there. It's, I'm going to show you another image of what the, oh boy, help me find this, angels. I'll show you another image of what the chakras look like. Because some of them I see as like the round circles, and others I see more as like a cone almost. I'm getting close, I can feel it. Here it is. So the third eye I see as like a cone coming out the front. So this is how I also see the ear channels. So you can imagine your ears are here and they come out as cones. Where else do I see cones in there? So it's funny, like that's something that just came to me firsthand, and then I look at a book like that and I go, oh, cool, yeah. It's a little validation of what comes through primary. So yeah, I see the ear and I see the third eye like that more than the other chakras for some reason. So yeah, I mean, I'll see like, I don't know, all kinds of stuff shoved in there. Like there's been intentional blocking of the third eye, or we have shut it down to such a degree that it's like clogged. That's one, because I'm going to give you the visual for this in the meditation, but to me, the third eye is pulling energy in, and then in the pineal gland, it's integrating that energy into the brain so we can interpret it. So that energy is coming in and it's getting funneled in and then translated in the brain and sent to different places. So it can get channeled in as feeling. It can get channeled in as imagery. It can get channeled in as auditory. So as a knowing. So that, I think that's why I see that one as like more of a funnel than the other channels that are just sort of holding. This one is really pulling energy in and like sending it to different places as opposed to just holding it in one space. I wonder if that's why I experience vertigo. Certainly can be a third eye issue, or ear chakras too. Definitely ear chakras. Okay, so crystals for the third eye. Amethyst, your purple stone. It's really fun when I go through these lists and I'm like, oh, I have that crystal. I have that crystal. I have that crystal. Like, I have a problem. Fluorite, which is a beautiful green, purple, white, like one of the most beautiful crystals. Lepidolite, tanzanite, which is a pale purple, and then clear quartz. Clear quartz is great for any of the chakras. It actually balances all of the chakras, but it's especially helpful for the third eye. And then for the third eye, my favorite is frankincense. If I could have one oil, it would be frankincense. It's not a cheap oil, but it's totally worth it. It has so many functionalities beyond work with the intuition, but it's the oil of truth. So I use it for channeling because I want to be pulling in truth of the highest vibrations. Sandalwood is also a great sacred devotion for the third eye chakra. And the affirmations for the third eye are I see the truth. I see love. I see the blessings of the angels in my life. I see humanity healing. Any of those I see are phenomenal for the third eye. Okay, so let's move on. I'm doing good on time here, guys. Trying to squeeze 3 in one day. Let's move on to the crown chakra, and then I'm going to guide you through a meditation, opening up your clairs and helping each of us to access that 5D consciousness even more. So this is going to be good. All right, so the crown chakra sits at the crown of the head, or some say just above the head. So the crown chakra is your connection to the divine or your connection to your higher self. So this is where information comes through the third eye, but the authenticity of the energy of the universe comes in through the crown. So when the color of the crown is purple, some also see it as white or gold. And again, these chakras can be any color, but white or gold because it is pure consciousness coming through the crown chakra. When I look at crown chakras, I often see not necessarily sacred geometry, but I see the crown chakra as 3-dimensional very often. Like it has patterns, like I'll see Aztec type of patterns or like Egyptian kind of patterns in there. And so to me, I see through the crown connections to, or alien looking stuff, where I'm like, I don't know what this is. I see through the crown our own unique divinity that also connects to maybe perhaps where we've had past lives, or where guides are coming through to connect us to ancient wisdom from various locations. So that's something unique that I see in the crown chakra. Fractal images just came to me. Yeah. That's a great word, fractal. Okay. And then the energy, the element of the crown is thought, because thought is really the way that consciousness comes through to us, and it's how we can express that internally is through thought, and then we can move it through different chakras to put it out, but it really comes through thought. So when the crown chakra is out of balance, you can feel totally disconnected from your higher power, your higher self. Some people will feel angry at God. You can have difficulty trusting your path or knowing what next steps are for you. You may feel depressed, alone, anxious, or fearful because you've lost touch with creation, right? You don't know why you're here, or you can't make sense of it when there's no energy of the 5D in your space. When the crown chakra is balanced, you get to live in the knowledge of unity. You get to come back to the idea that we are all an extension of source. We all come from source, and therefore we are all the same. We are all of the same energy. And so there's this beyond compassion, which comes from the heart, there's this unity, which is like an even more powerful sense of how energy works and who we are and what we are and why we're here. We, in balance, will trust our connection to the divine. We will identify that we go far beyond physical form, and we're able to elevate our vibration and our consciousness. So the crown is where you get to do the real vibrational work. And when you're channeling or mediumship, it's called mediumship because you're raising your vibration to meet halfway the spirit world, and the spirit world will come down and meet you. So you become this channel for information that's so high vibration that it's difficult for us to access in our human physical form. So you can access that information through astral travel, you can access it through channeling or mediumship, but you really have to be able to elevate your vibration to go there. And that's why if you're doing channeling work or anything, you have to be really, really careful about managing your energy and channeling in a healthy way that's not burning out the physical body, using a lot of adrenaline. And you have to make sure you're grounding, clearing, and resting, or you can start to be taking on all kinds of stuff and like really burning out your body. You'll see a lot of light workers and healers and very spiritual people holding a lot of energy in their bodies, taking on other people's energy. And there's almost when you can be operating too much from these higher chakras, and then there can become a neglect or a dysfunction in the physical because the physical is becoming neglected. So we need that balance, and we need that real intense grounding to the deeper and more solidly you ground, the higher you can go with your vibration. So we have to make that stretch and that match. So the life lesson of the crown chakra is to experience the divine and to experience the meaning of life. And for me, I take that even further to be able to take that power of the divine and bring it into the 3D. One of the things I've been saying lately is we want to be in the 3D, but not of it. So like you get to enjoy all the 3D stuff. As a spiritual person, as a spirit in human form, you don't have to suffer and sacrifice. That's kind of an old way of being. You don't have to be a pauper to be a spiritual guru, right? Like some of the biggest spiritual teachers now have accumulated a lot of wealth and a lot of power and a lot of influence, and they get to enjoy the 3D, right? Like be able to travel and go to exotic destinations and hike mountains that you can only access with a private guide, and be able to live in a home and have property where you can grow your garden and have peace of mind and security so that you can do this really high vibrational work. So the two are not separate. I'm all about bringing that 5D into our 3D lives and getting to be humans, getting to eat all the foods and have all the pleasure and all of those things. We get to have it all. You don't have to pick one or the other, and you don't have to sacrifice or settle. And I really, truly think that's why we're here. When you're in spirit form, you don't get food, you don't get sex, you don't get beautiful scenery and birds chirping and flowers growing. We're here to enjoy the 3D stuff. So I'm all about bringing that joy and pleasure of the 3D in connection with the 5D. We get to have it all. Okay, so let's see. The gland for the crown chakra is the pituitary. This is also in the brain, and this is regulating a lot of basic survival functions in the body. The crown chakra regulates the muscular and skeletal systems, the skin, the cerebral cortex, the front part of the brain, the thinking part of the brain, and the central nervous system. If your crown chakra is out of balance, that can be caused by lack of trust in the divine and unresolved anger towards the divine. So a situation where someone might be really angry at God is, let's say you lost a child, right? A very valid reason why someone might feel really angry and feel really victim and not understand why that happened. You may be angry if you were born with a disability, a different ability, let's call it that. You could be angry for a lot of reasons, right? So that can create a real block in the crown chakra where you're not able to access that connection to divinity. Okay, crystals for the crown chakra: clear quartz, like the third eye. Herkimer diamonds, this is a You can see, that's a Herkimer diamond on my finger there, which is kind of fun. Those are diamonds that come from Herkimer, New York. So they're not as like clean and clear as a typical diamond, but they're just as strong and beautiful and cool. Labradorite, let's see if you guys can see this. So labradorite is like this brown, green, purple, blue, but what they say is in labradorite, I can't really, oh, maybe there you go. You can see like multiple universes, different galaxies, like the depth of this is so cool. So I love labradorite. So that's a great for the crown chakra. Moonstone and selenite. So this is selenite. Selenite is actually really great for just clearing energy. So if you need a total reset, selenite is your go-to. You can charge your crystals with selenite if you couldn't put them out in the sun or out in the moonlight. You can charge them or clear them with selenite. And then essential oils. Frankincense is great for the crown chakra. Peppermint is also good. And I also love clary sage for any of the 3 higher chakras. I use this one when I channel because I want to turn on all my clairs. And I put it on my throat chakra. Don't ask me why. That's just what I got in the habit of doing, and that's where I like to put it. So that's where I put it. So you can put it anywhere. With the crown chakra oils, you can put them on the crown of your head. I don't really like putting oils in my hair. I feel like I can never really get it on my scalp. I don't know. So I do crown chakra oils like here. Oh, kind of like the, I don't know, like where you would have a crown in the forehead. So you can do them there too. You can also do any oils on the nape of the neck, right where the neck vertebrae meet the thoracic vertebrae. There's like a bony lump there. You can put it there. That's your governing meridian line. So that's going to hit all the chakras, all the meridian lines in the body. How often do I charge my crystals? Probably not often enough. I have a setup on my desk that I keep all the time. That is, it's a big black plate. I honestly don't even know what it is, but it's a grounding protection stone. Then I have a selenite plate. Then I have, I'll show you. I have a tourmalated quartz. So this is another, tourmaline is a grounding protection stone, and then the quartz is a clearing, aligning for all the chakra stones. So this is combined. And then around it, I have a grid with clear quartz points and rose quartz. So it's like setting the intention of a really powerful, clean, clear, grounded, aligned space coming from love and compassion. So that's my grid I keep on my desk, and that's self-charging because the selenite plate is on there. Those black stones like tourmaline, you don't have to clear because they transmute negative energy. They don't collect it. So yeah, I don't put my crystals out that often. Definitely, like if you do it once a month with a full moon is a great way to do it. You can also just put them out in the sunlight. Yeah, I'm a little bit lazy with my crystals, so yeah, but like once a month in the full moon is great, or once a month in the sun. When programming a crystal, do we just ask it to bring the chakra back into balance? Okay, good question. So when you're using crystals for the chakras, you can hold them. You can lay down and put them on the chakras that you want to work with. Like you'll see these little chakra kits where there's a stone for each chakra. You can lay down and put them on yourself. I honestly allow the crystal to bring the energy of the vibration that it naturally holds. So if I have an intention to heal the root chakra, you know, I would just hold that crystal and I would ask for the wisdom. I would ask for the vibration of the crystal to support healing, clearing in that chakra. So that's kind of how I would do it. Yeah, you can ask for balance. You can ask if you're, let's say fear is an issue that you're working through with the root chakra, you could say, help me to find peace, help me to find trust, help me to release traumas that are holding fear in my central nervous system. Help me to find grounding, anything like that. It's a, you can't do it wrong, right? So this is where we get we don't want to get too much in the masculine that says you have to do it a certain way or it's not right, right? Like, how often do you charge? Where do you put the oils? How often do you do them? It doesn't really matter. What's powerful about oils and crystals is that we hold them in a loving vibration, right? Like, we buy crystals because they're speaking to us. I buy crystals because I go in the crystal shop and I'm like, oh my God, I need that one. Sometimes I'm looking for something specific like tourmaline, or I have a stone picked out for a live event for my participants. But primarily I just go in there with like a budget or not a budget, whatever, and just get whatever speaks to me. So how do you, when you're getting crystals online, how do you clear them for travel? So you always want to clear your crystals when you bring them home from anywhere, even a good crystal shop. So you can do that through sunshine, moonlight, living water, which would be a river, stream, pond, ocean. What else? You can use selenite to charge them. You can smudge them with sage or Palo Santo. And honestly, you can just do it with the energy of intention with your hands as well. So what I was coming back to with all of this stuff is about ritual and intention. That's all energy healing is. It's ritual and intention in a high vibration. And so crystals make us feel really good because they're so beautiful. And they're like this tangible visual imagery of God, of the universe, right? And the essential oils are the smells of those high vibrations. And so, and then we combine that with the intention and with our own energy. So you can't do it wrong. You really can't do it wrong. Just doing it in a loving way. You can also ground anything. You can ground your laptop so it's not emitting so much EMFs. You can ground your cell phone. You can ground your Wi-Fi router. Send grounding cords on things that may be putting out negative energy. That's a really powerful step. Okay, and then so the last thing is the affirmations for the crown are I know, because we're working with thought here. So I know I am supported and held by the divine. I know I am an extension of source. I know that everything I need is coming to support me. I know that the more I trust and stay in a high vibration, the more I can receive. I know are going to be your affirmations for the crown chakra. Okay, any last questions, go ahead and submit them. Otherwise, we're going to move into our meditation for the higher chakras. And we're going to open up your clairs. I'm like, what did I promise we were going to do? We're going to open up your clairs. I had a little nap today. And as I was waking up, all this stuff was coming in for this workshop. And I was like, okay, got it. Let's do it. Yes. So when I, this is another story I was going to share. When I was overly in the masculine, overly in this control energy, I would plan everything to the T and try to make it perfect. And now I just kind of wing shit, guys. Like, I have an idea, but then I just kind of wing it. I just go with the flow. I just let it channel through me. And that's my gift of speech. That is my natural way of expressing my divinity. So that doesn't exactly work for everyone, but for me, that I just kind of wing it. Like, I didn't plan the meditations until like 10 minutes before each thing, because it just comes to me. This is what you do. I don't plan the words I say, I just allow them to flow in. And so if this is the vibration you can live in, you want to have a plan, right? Like, you want to pay your bills at a certain time and show up to your appointments on time. But if you can be in the flow of life and work with the energy that's showing up in your body that day, that is a very powerful way to live, because you're really in alignment and you're really being guided by these higher chakras. And you're not making choices out of fear and control and anxiety and what are people going to think of me and all those things. You know, you're in the flow more. So opening up your intuitive channels and being able to receive that guidance is a really powerful step. Is the crown chakra where your immune system would be weak? No, the immune system is related to, oh, hold on, I have it. want to say here's the immune system. Oh, the root chakra. Sometimes you wing stuff and you're shuffling through papers and it doesn't matter. You guys like me more because I'm not perfect. Yes, the immune system is ruled by the root chakra because the immune system is hypersensitive to fear and adrenaline. And that root chakra is related to the adrenals. So yeah. So that's a basic survival thing, which is what the immune system is for, right? You are so welcome. Okay, so let's get into our meditation. We're gonna open up these clear channels. This is a thing I do in a lot of my chakra readings. So I will invite you to close your eyes, breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth, coming into your body. Beginning to feel a little gratitude for this moment. And then sending your grounding cord down from the base of your spine, deep, deep into the earth, connecting to the Earth Star Chakra. This is the star chakra for our planet, for Mother Earth. Connecting to her infinite wisdom, energy, and grounding force. And then I will invite you to draw your attention to the center of your head, to your pineal gland, the center of your intuition that translate all of the clair energy into the brain, where we can translate it into imagery, sounds, feelings, and knowings that our human body can understand and connect with. We're going to start with the third eye. And just look at that third eye right between the brows. Taking note of what color it is, what size it is. And noticing, does it look like a funnel for you, being the biggest opening sort of between the brows and then tunneling into the pineal gland? And just look and see if there's any junk in there, any black, any sludge, any stuffing, any dark, dense energy that's blocking your third eye. Or maybe it's a clear, beautiful channel of gold or purple. We're going to begin to clear that channel from the pineal gland out, and you can use your hands to move this energy if it helps you. Just imagine that you're going to open this channel from the pineal gland out to the brow. You may see this energy moving forward. You may see it spiraling out. And as you push any blocks out of the third eye, behind it, you're leaving beautiful, golden, spiraling energy. This energy healing technique was taught to me by Archangel Chamuel. So if you feel connected to him in any way, thank him for this energy healing. Yeah, you guys all cleared very quick there. And then sending that energy down to the earth, asking Mother Earth to transmute that energy, any of those blocks or densities, to the highest vibrations of love and light. And again, noticing, do you feel any sensations between the brow? Any sensations in the head? I feel a lot of energy moving for a lot of you. It feels a little pressurized and a little headachy for me. So I know some of you guys are moving a lot. Next, we're going to clear the ear channels. So again, from that center of the brain, the pineal gland, we're going to clear these channels from the inside out. 2 funnels coming out the ears, opening up our clairaudience, our ability to hear and receive words from the divine, from the highest vibrations of love and light. Opening up those channels, pushing out any densities or blocks. Inviting in our clairaudience to increase, become louder and more clear. Inviting our clairvoyance through the third eye to come in brighter, stronger, more clear. And then we're going to clear this energy from the pineal gland down to the throat chakra. This is where our clairsentience can come in. So a funnel that goes from the pineal gland down into the throat, funneling that feeling into the body, moving any density, any blocks, and sending that energy down your grounding cord, opening up that up to a beautiful golden funnel that's going to send any of your intuitive information into your body for you to feel your truth, for you to feel your next steps, to be guided by the sensations in your body. And finally, we're going to open up the channel from the pineal gland to the crown chakra, another funnel that goes up, clearing out any darkness or density there, moving it up and out. And as it clears, sending that dense energy down to Mother Earth to be transmuted to the highest vibrations of love and light. And then what I'm seeing for the group collectively here is just some dark energy in the pineal gland. So we've kind of cleared these channels, but what I'm seeing is like the pineal gland is not activated and it's not charged. So I want each of you to draw your attention again to the center of your head, right between your ears. And we're going to seed a golden light in there. This again is coming through Archangel Chamuel or Hamiel. He has a few different names. And just seeding a golden light in the center of that pineal gland. And that golden light is awakening the intuition. We're seeding safety and accessing the intuition, all the channels, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, the claircognizance, and the clairsentience. Allowing that light to grow. Bringing safe, supportive energy to the intuitive channels. Filling the whole pineal gland. Perhaps accessing intuitive channels that have been blocked your whole life. You didn't even know they were there. And then connecting that pineal gland down into the throat chakra, out into the ear chakras, up into the crown chakra, forward into the third eye. Breathing in that light energy and exhaling anything that's not serving your highest good here. Again, breathing in that light energy and exhaling, releasing. Keep breathing into those activations. A lot of energy moving in the head. We're asking that any calcification or toxicity in the pineal gland be gently and safely removed. Healing those tissues. Archangel Metatron coming through now to move any heavy metals that may be in the pineal gland. So another level of healing. Archangel Metatron using magnets to safely disarm any toxins with a strong charge. And sending those down the grounding cord. Big clearing there with the metals. Ooh, that made my whole body tingle. Sending that all down the grounding cord, being very clear that we release all of this, we let it go. Sending it to Mother Earth and her infinite power to transmute toxicity, physical toxicity, emotional toxicity, spiritual toxicity, intellectual toxicity. And we'll just send a beam of this golden light down the spine, down this governing meridian line, inviting healing into the whole body here. Sending this light through each of the chakras, through the circulatory system, the lymphatic system, every nerve, into every organ, tissue, and cell. And asking for a bubble of white light protection around each one of us, around all of us as a collective. And as we access these higher levels of our intuition, we access these higher levels of consciousness, and we step into a higher vibration, a stronger connection to the 5D energy, that we are all protected, watched over, and held safe as we as individuals raise our energy, and as a group raise the collective energy of all of humanity. And we are grateful for this time and space and healing, and asking that any healing, any activations that started today will continue on as long as they are needed to bring each and every one to our highest vibrations of love and light. And then coming back into your body with deep breaths. Wiggling fingers and toes, opening your eyes and coming back to the room. Ooh, that was a good one, guys. How do you guys feel? Good. I'm so curious to see if you guys have some experiences from this. I feel like we just did a seriously major intuition activation, ear popping. Yeah, I was like, headache here. So the cool thing too is, like, as you guys step into your light work more, and as you step into your soul purpose, and as you're allowing these higher chakras to guide you, you're gonna begin to receive, you know, I mentioned yesterday, like, people want to do healing work and they feel this call. And like, I remember the first spiritual teacher I worked with, she's the one who told me I needed to start my own business. And I was like, I just want to do what you do. And in my head, I was like, but I'll never. There's the old, like, oh, you're all intuitive, you're all psychic, it hasn't turned on yet. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. But it's true. It's like literally freaking true. Now I do what she does in my own way. And I've, you know, moved beyond that, right? Like I've grown beyond a lot of my teachers at this point, because I keep doing this inner healing work, and I keep showing up, and I keep conquering levels of fear that want to stop me and put a ceiling on me. And I go, nope, let's go, coming right in, moving right through, and just keep working through these levels and keep working on raising the vibration. And then your ability to attract whatever it is you want in life becomes so powerful. So I gave you a money example. Your ability to attract a partner in life, to attract anything, literally anything that you want, you know, a life of complete and total freedom, an ability to, I think I shared, not in the last training, like, I have a dream now of writing books on a sailboat in the Caribbean. Like, I'm going to do that. How? I don't know. When? I don't know. Taking sailing lessons this summer, step, right? But like, the sky is the limit. And we've been given all these blocks to kind of hold us down. We've been programmed to believe that we don't have this power, that we can't manifest, that we have to rely on these external sources to validate us and to keep us safe, that we need, you know, health insurance and disability insurance and long-term disability insurance and short-term disability insurance and all these safety nets, right? I mean, the wilder I make my decisions following my intuition, the better outcomes I receive. So one of the One of the most wildly intuitive decisions I've made in the last 2 years was joining the We Will Rise Mastermind with Andy Love. And that was a $30,000 investment. And that year, my business, at that point, it was October of 2019, had made about $40,000 roughly. I don't know the exact number, but okay. So to make a $30,000 investment when it was in a monthly payment plan, right? So I wasn't paying it all up front, but I was barely generating that much money. Like it was barely enough money for me to like pay all my bills, right? So did I have $30,000? Absolutely no. I had none of it. It was a complete move of faith. And I got a lot of heat for it. People told me I was crazy. My ex-husband told me I was putting him in an early grave, and he didn't even know how much it cost. He thought it cost half that. And I was like, yeah, it's 15. And it was travel. It was, you know, going to be away from my daughter. It was a lot of things that didn't make sense. But I knew in my heart and soul that I needed to go on that journey. And so I just did. I just made the commitment and I said, support me, you know, like I show me, tell me, I'm ready. Thank you. And I'm going on the journey, right? So a lot of times, you know, we want to have all our ducks in a row before we take the leap. You know, we want to have all the money. We want to have all the time. We want to have all the health. We want to have all the intuitive abilities before we take the leap into our next big thing. And for a lot of you, this is healing work. And the ducks are never in a row until you tell the universe loud and clear, I am ready. I'm showing up to serve. And certainly there's timing, right? Like you don't want to be reckless in your decisions, but when your body and your intuitive channels are telling you and screaming at you, you need to be a part of this, then you leap and you're always supported. This is when you're when those higher chakras are balanced, you just know. I'll give you another example. My examples tend to be a lot about money, right? Because this is one of my biggest spaces of learning in my life. And empowerment also in my business too. Like I was terrified to come out of the spiritual closet, terrified. The more I started talking in my authentic voice, the more clients magnetized to me, the more freedom I got in my schedule, the more grounded and clear I felt. Another huge leap of faith I took was getting into this house. I was going through a separation in March of 2020, and I had a budget for, right? So at this point, my business had made $54,000 in 2019. And that's like before expenses, before like anything. Like it's not, you know, it's not a little amount of money, but it for what my dreams were, it was not in any way, shape, or form nearly enough. And I kept reinvesting, right? I kept reinvesting. I was in this mastermind. I had a $2,000 a month payment into this mastermind payment. I was in $2,100 a month, something like that. And I needed to find a place to live. I needed to move out from where I was. And within my budget was like, and where I wanted to live, locality, I could get like a 2-bedroom apartment on a first floor, second floor of a house and most of these kind of historic homes in this like New England coastal town had like a 3rd floor too. And I had lived that way for 6 years. And I was like, I'm so done with like having neighbors below me and above me. Like, I was like, I can't do it. Like it feels wrong. It feels so out of alignment. And so I found this house and it was way out of my budget, like $600-700 beyond what I wanted to spend a month. And it meant I was also paying utilities for a whole house. And, you know, like I don't have snow plowing and, you know, a lot of things. But this house spoke to me in such a way. It was like my dream. I made this Pinterest board and it was my literal Pinterest board. The colors, it had been completely renovated and refinished. And like, if I could pick colors and kitchen appliances and countertops, like it was exact what I wanted. And it was in the perfect space. And I was like, and I was calling it my angel house. Like when I saw this, I was like jumping out of my skin. And I came to look at it and I was like, I need this house. I don't even know if they're going to rent it to me because like I don't even have income to show, right? And so I just took the leap of faith. I called my sister and she was like, yep, you need that house. She's like, the money will come, you'll be supported. And I did. And not once did I ever feel like it was a stretch. And to this day, still people go, oh, I can't believe you pay that much in rent. And I'm like, yeah, but it keeps me in my highest vibration. So then guess what? I'm a magnet. I am a magnet for being in my highest vibration. So I attract the money, I attract the clients, I attract this yard guy who literally like does I could call him any day and he'll be at my house in 15 minutes to take care of anything. I have a handyman, right? Like I'm so supported in making these decisions that don't make a lot of sense. And it's because with the alignment that I found, with the connection to my intuition, I can just be guided in that way. And so I just like want to encourage you guys to like take these leaps and don't listen to the naysayers. People are going to come along and say to you, oh, you shouldn't do this. Oh, you need to do it this way and that way. And just look at them and say, well, do I want their life? And if you want it, then trust them and listen to their guidance. If you don't listen to them. Do not let anyone else tell you above and beyond what your intuition tells you. You have to be guided from the heart and up. You absolutely have to be guided from the heart and up. And so hopefully we unlock this intuition for you guys at a next level that each of you are going to be able to access your intuition at a capacity that you've never accessed before. Or if you've got these strong intuitive channels, you're going to be trusting them more and more, and they're going to be louder and clearer. So that's my goal for you guys. So just keep freaking taking those leaps of faith and keep being in your authenticity, and you will be supported and cared for. And I always believed in these principles, but in the last 2 years of like living them, I see them working, and I see it happening for my clients now. I see them taking leaps of faith. I see them going deep into their shadows and like coming out on the other side with rainbows and sparkles and moonlight and all the magic. So like, just trust these things. Electricity moving ear to ear, a glowing golden nugget at my pituitary gland. Love it. Major drainage down the throat, black in the front of the forehead, then purple in the ear. Yeah. So you guys, this is all your intuitive channels. This is your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, your clairaudience. This is real stuff. Like, this isn't just make believe. This isn't your imagination. This is spirit speaking to you. Spirit does not speak. I'm blowing the time out of the water. It's okay. It's the last one. Spirit does not speak in human words. Human words are so limited. They're so limited in terms of all the different energies out there. Think about all the different energies: sound, water, earth, fire, light, thought. Spirit speaks in all the energies of the universe. Words, like, I think some people expect that your intuitive channel is going to be like an outside voice that says, hey there, Rachel, I've got some great information for you. You should go buy that stock because it's going to go up 300%. And then you're going to have exactly $10,000 to buy this exact car, which is the perfect make. It doesn't freaking work that way at all. You're going to get feelings, colors, sensations. In really profound experiences, you will get visitations. You will get beings that come to you and they are going to move you in such incredible ways. And so just keep putting yourself in this space where you're inviting it in and you're believing. Your belief in the possibility of all this stuff is the most powerful piece. You don't need crystals, you don't need essential oils, you don't need chakras, you don't need any of it. These are great tools, but the most powerful thing is your belief and your commitment to your own vibration and your commitment to working with your shadow. That's all you need. The other stuff is fun, but and really good hacks that make you feel really happy too. A cardinal flew in the tree. Yes. Oh, Lisa says, how you felt about Andy's course is how I feel about your mastermind program. Yeah, I mean, my biggest container of transformation has been the Divinely Nourished Mastermind, which I think all three of the women are here that are in that right now. And to watch the quantum shifts that they're experiencing and for them to put their faith and trust in me and like and keep showing up and doing the work, like it's just it's a miracle for me to watch these women follow the path that I've been on. And I always say, like, I'm only one step ahead of you guys. Like, you wouldn't be here if you were 50 steps behind me, because you wouldn't be able to understand anything I'm saying. And this is the other thing: if you're feeling a call to step into healing work, you only need to be 1 inch ahead of the people you're teaching. Because if you're 200 points higher on the vibrational scale, remember, people at the bottom, they can't see up here. They're down in the weeds. And so you just want to move people 1 inch. And so you don't have to be wildly intuitive. You don't have to be perfectly physically healed. You don't have to have perfect relationships or perfect finances or perfect anything. It's in our brokenness and in our messiness that we do our biggest healing and then become guides for that exact work. So yeah, like, you just don't let those kinds of fears stop you either. Chills and goosebumps several times. Yeah, I mean, this is all spirit speaking to you. Every single one of you have had some sort of spiritual experience in today or in these last couple days. And or if you're watching this replay, it's time and space is a human illusion. To spirit, everything is happening all the time at once. And so, like, it's the same if you're doing this 5 years from now or you're doing it in live moment. The energy of it is, energy transcends time and space, so the energy of it is the same. So thank you guys so much for doing this and for showing up. And like I promised, there's going to be a chakra course coming that's going to go a lot deeper with this. It was going to be like a more in-depth version of this. That might be shifting and changing now. I don't know. I might send out an email and poll you guys and see what you want. I might do a chakra reading certification. Maybe that has practical hours. Maybe that has one-to-one with me. I don't know. But something is coming to teach the healers, to train the healers. That's where I am being guided, because like I said yesterday, I'm tapped out in terms of how many people I can serve. I've been finding myself getting really tired, not being able to keep up with my house, emotional eating coming back in. I'm like, oh man, all right, I'm getting the message. I'm out of balance. My pants are feeling tight, okay? Like, that is the sign for me that I am stretching myself too thin or that I'm out of alignment. And so I'm listening. I'm not judging it. I'm just listening. And so there's lots going to be coming for helping you guys develop these skills to put them out. And doing your inner healing work is such a key piece of putting these out into the world. So if you guys have any comments right now, if you want to pop them in, like, do you want a course? Do you want a certification where we learn how to read chakras together, and you do practical hours and you get one-to-ones with me, and you do practice sessions and you get a certificate, and you feel like, yes, I can go out and read chakras now and charge for this and be abundantly supported in my mission. Let me know if any of that resonates for you. It can be as simple or as intense as you guys feel called. I mean, it's ultimately up to what I'm guided to. But I love to hear your feedback too. So, and especially because most of you, I think, have been on here all 3 days, so you've been committed. So that'll be coming. And the Abundant Ascension Business Mastermind starts June 1st. That's a year-long journey of the deep inner healing work. We have a retreat where we're all going to come together. That's going to be on the Gulf Coast of Florida in February or March of 2022. It's going to teach you all the masculine, the structure and strategy aspects of running a business, so you have complete and total freedom. Everything works for you. How do you build a website? How do you do social media? How do you charge? How do you not have to ask people for money, but you let the technology do it for you? And then the feminine aspects of being in the flow, of not being in hustle, of setting clear boundaries around, I work 3 days a week, I turn off my stuff at this time, and following your intuition to be guided in how you're meant to put this stuff out into the world, so you can be really fully supported in a just a really awesome way. So that that's going to be a deep journey. And I'm just super excited about all of it. So let's see, I'll just answer any last questions. If you guys want to unmute and ask questions too, it's Friday afternoon. I'm a free bird. So feel free. My intuition led me to Rachel's mastermind. It's so incredibly powerful. If you feel the calling to work with her, I encourage you to reach out to talk to her. You won't regret it. Much love to you all. Thank you, Tiffany. Definitely want a certification for chakra healing. I need this ability as part of my healing journey. Yeah, that'll be going to be coming. I think it's going to be bigger than I thought it was, because I feel like this is a foundation, right? Like this is, I don't know, this is done. I can make this part of the course, right? You can do this in your own time. And then I think getting people into practice and working with each other will be powerful. So I'll probably do this in July. Maybe like, it'll maybe like 6 or 8 weeks, July and August. I think that will be the plan. So I'll keep you guys posted. You'll see this on social media, come in the email, all that good stuff. So yeah. All right. Any last questions or thoughts? July, August is perfect. All right. Sign them up. You guys are the best. All right. So I'll close with that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. That's not from me. That's from higher up. Like, this is just such an important part of healing the collective. You guys are really on the, there was a wave of a few powerful individuals, and now there is a massive, massive wave of light workers coming, and you guys are all them. And so this work is for you, but it's also for all of us and for the future generations that are coming. So thank you. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you around. Bye.